Black Desert Online, Final Fantasy XIV, two massive games stocking stuffed with content and sweet graphics, but which of these MMOs in the Steam Summer Sale are you going to pick up and stick with? Today I'm going to do a concise breakdown of the two games so that you can make a choice if you are ever interested in either of these. Word of warning, both of these games require high-end PCs if you want to get the best out of both of them. Let's start with the one I know best, Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. This game had a rocky start when it came out, but thanks to clever marketing and an underappreciated fanbase, Square Enix was able to take the W after taking the L. To a newbie, Final Fantasy XIV might be one of the most oversaturated messes to join right now. Alright, in addition to the beginning story 1.0 to 2.0, it has not just one, but two expansion packs. Let me put this out there, it took me about a month to get the first part of the main story out of the way so I could get to the first expansion pack, Heavensward. And you know something, the first story of the first part of FF14 is actually pretty bad. But once you get to Heavensward, it just takes a complete 180. Heavensward was good. Game of Thrones, good. Walking Dead, good. Its storytelling and lore was so compelling, its characters sympathetic and memorable. Literally the only reason I come back to 14 every time is because of the story. That month it'll take you to get through the first part of the story into Heavensward does not even account for the amount of time it'll take you to get from Heavensward to Stormblood. I myself had finished Heavensward, but it'll probably take me some more time to get to the next part of the story. Because of the updated patches and extra dungeons that come afterwards, I probably have about, a month's worth of content to go to myself before I could even access Stormblood. Luckily, the classes in Stormblood aren't story exclusive. However, dungeons are story exclusive. That means armor, gear, new items, the best of the new pack, that's going to be locked behind the story. That's going to be locked behind time. And unfortunately, if time is a key factor for you, Heavensward, Stormblood, even Final Fantasy XIV might be something worth avoiding. The gameplay is pretty solid. It starts off weak and easy at first, but the dungeons become sort of fun and challenging, if not disconnective and leaving you with an empty feeling and a lack of camaraderie. This one plays like WoW. You move around, avoid the orange lights on the floor, and let your tank do the heavy lifting while you pound away at it and your white mage heals you. The open world is beautiful and vast, but it's also shallow and meek. There's no sense of danger and urgency. You can go from points A to B easily, and everything is literally spelled out for you. What's more, the dungeons have you connecting with people from other worlds, other servers, so you won't be able to contact them again or team up again. And it's really sad and too bad because I kind of like some of the people I end up teaming up with. Most of the time they just say nothing, but sometimes they're really fun and nice, and it's a shame I can't play with them again. Final Fantasy XIV's music is beautiful and dynamic, not unlike Nier Automata. It is glorious in its sound for the feeling it attempts to evoke, and the emotions and sound get heavy towards the end of Heavensward. You can truly feel the struggle and tragedy of the... Wow, almost did a spoiler there. Now here's the thing. 14's community can be a bit... intense. In a game where people want to avoid stress and relax to the point of desperation, guilds and groups ironically become like courts in a kingdom, and they play on this need almost to a fault. And people who bring up the wrong thing once or twice unwittingly cause people to scurry away from free companies, the guilds, as if they were customers switching from Etsy to Amazon because of a bad delivery that one time. The free companies love keeping people in, as the more people that you have, the more powerful your free company is. And they will kick you out without hesitation and find all the ways to ignore you. They will even tell other free companies about you. The people in this game just love their fantasies. It's just how they are. So doing things like talking too much in your guild chat or bringing up real world things for whatever reason, or talking about how Garleans remind you of North Korea will get you kicked out. Because certain things make people uncomfortable. And it's a shame. I watched it happen to a friend. He was not happy with them, or my decision to stay in the free company. It was really awkward and unpleasant for everyone involved. Really, all he had to do was apologize and keep his mouth shut. It's a damn shame. The free company dynamic really limits access to camaraderie and online bonding. And it sucks because you're on this game and sometimes you just want to know the people you're playing with. But there are too many walls and they're ready and willing to kick people out at the slightest provocation or tell on others for this other person who made them feel uncomfortable. It's kind of sad and leaves you feeling lonely if you don't want to play by their rules. I mean, who goes onto a game to play politics? Really, needless to say, FF14 is not a game you can go to and go halvesies on and expect to have fun. It has to be something when you are ready to invest your time and social energy in a digital community, and if you're not willing to do that, you might as well select another game. Me, myself, I personally got tired of the politics they were playing but really weren't even cognizant of, or maybe they were just pretending not to. Personally, I just really wanted a game to be a game, not a second life. It got really bothersome. I'll go back for the story, but not for the community. Final Fantasy XIV is available on Steam during the summer sale for $15.99 for a starter pack. The complete package is on sale for about $56. It requires a monthly subscription for about $15 per month depending on the amount of characters you want to have on your account. And it's free for the first month. It's also available for the PlayStation 4. Sorry X-Bone fans, can't win them all. The game is noob-friendly, fun, stable, and beautiful. It has that Final Fantasy aesthetic. It's not bad. Black Desert Online, or MMO Skyrim. Black Desert Online is a new game in the wave of Korean hack-and-slash MMOs with absurdly good graphical fidelity. BDO has one of, if not the most intricate and dynamic character customization systems of any MMO out there. Its graphics are beautiful, and its system finally got its shit together if you want to play on a high-end PC and max your settings. The only drawback is the classes are crystal in their limits. And the cash shop, but I'm going to get to that later. A Dark Knight is always a woman. A Berserker is always a man. An Archer is always a woman. A Shinobi is always a man. Once you pick a class to select another one, you have to make another character. That's just how this game is. One thing I love about BDO is that it's like a modded Skyrim, except it doesn't crash every 10 seconds and I don't have to spend over 100 hours trying to calibrate it with absolutely no success. It is beautiful, the lady characters look sexy, you can make them built if you want, the world is immersive, and the player base is just bustling with activity. Unlike Final Fantasy XIV, there's no real story to get invested in, but there are side quests, Black Spirit storylines, and, they're just a multitude of NPCs with a little flavor in them. It's really nice. Things like emotional impact and good writing, however, get lost in translation, and sometimes you dig up a good story from an NPC questline, but if you're here for the narrative, don't come in expecting too much. Please, you're gonna hurt yourself. Fair warning though, this game can sometimes get laggy to the point of immobility, to the point where it's intolerable and you have to log off or shut your computer down. I'm running a high-end setup that can run nearly anything at max settings, and BDO still lags like crazy. So, yeah. Whereas Final Fantasy XIV is just much more stable, BDO is just occasionally lacks stability in that area. Black Desert is an open-ended and craft-heavy game. You can go AFK and fish, gather, and even auto-level up if you're clever enough. BDO is full of rich and sexy graphical fidelity, light and shadows that you can literally call upon as a frame of reference to see how good your character looks in this lighting. And my god, do they look good! Now, you can spend hours doing character customization, but let's talk about the gameplay. This game is, like I said, craft heavy and knee-deep in fetched quests. Do this, kill this, get that, find this, beat this guy up, fuck this guy's wife. But then there is the Black Spirit questline. Now, I'm a noob, but the interesting thing is that the obviously evil, toothy Black Spirit will ask you to do things that will sabotage your quest with the other NPCs. The thing is, I'm not sure who the evil person is in this situation, the evil Black Spirit who's obviously evil, or the humans. I mean, the Black Spirit asks me to destroy out a group of orcs' food supply so they would starve to death. A few guards ask me to wipe out their entire race. I think that this is one of those morally gray things, and everyone is sort of evil sometimes, but, what do I know? combat is quick and dirty, and while it tries to be Devil May Cry and almost does a good job, it falls short of the success that it is looking for. Its combat has feedback and sound, but your character feels like an amateur martial artist when you first start out. Misstepping, sloppily moving, overusing skills. As you continue, you can begin to do things like this. It's like learning a martial arts, learning the right skills and footwork, and takes inspiration from DMC and ends up doing something different that works by the end. BDO has a lot of heavy grinding that in most cases you can get away with auto leveling or auto pathing and go AFK. It's a tactic that seems cheap, but I like it. I feel like I can get the best value out of this game and do other things that I want to do with my life with BDO. This will also work against your single player and multiplayer experience, as for some people this will ruin the immersive quality of single player and can encroach upon the multiplayer. BDO is deep in the cash whoring game, as many cosmetics and items will also grant buffs that will make your crafting or leveling easier or more energy efficient than without them, and pets that end up costing money will give you essential buffs. There are quite a few items in this game that are essential for one's character growth, and you have to wonder if the price is worth it. You can certainly go without those items, and it's not like you've never bought a skin in LoL or Overwatch, but this is definitely something to consider. Most cosmetic costumes are $30 a piece, and most of them are character bound. Now, BDO's community is a bit less filtered, more active. People can say things and get away with it, and it's just fun. And sometimes a little frustrating, but that's the price you pay. People can join communities that are not as nuanced as FF14's, but are definitely less hollow and more welcoming. There's a sense of camaraderie to do quests despite the single player reward element this game offers. But this game does not cheat you out of the multiplayer experience when you decide to do multi. In FF14, multiplayer feels like I've been cheated out of multiplayer for the illusion of multiplayer. People are friendly, but not as personal or real. In BDO, single player doesn't lie about what it is, but neither does multiplayer, and people are just more friendly and personal in BDO. Not to mention, the dungeons are seamless and do not require loading screens. BDO is currently $7.99 on Steam at the lowest price at the moment, and it has upgrades in the form of Explorers Packs and Travelers Packs to make your game experience a lot easier. For $24 you can get the Travelers Pack, for $30 you can get the Explorers. That was my personal pick for the pet and the gear. So quick breakdown. XIV has crafting, deep story, mediocre but solid combat, a bit of a hollow community. XIV Final Fantasy XIV is cheap to try, but $55 for the complete package right now on Steam. Free for the first month, but it has a $15 each extra month guaranteed, plus cosmetic shop items that, let's face it, you will buy at least once. BDO has deep crafting, shallow story, deep, swift, heavy, badass combat, a bustling community that is less filtered but has not solved its cheater problem yet, and a lot of people partake in AFK farming rather than play most of the time. But the community element is stronger. It costs only $7 to start, but cash shop items can and will become expensive. You're gonna need pets too, and pets cost money. To be honest, I've spent money on Overwatch, Final Fantasy XIV, LoL, and even TF2. I know what to expect, but BDO at the very least is straight with me, and the buffs are not exactly needed, but they are nice and make things run a lot smoother. Finally, Final Fantasy XIV has a compelling story, music, and an aesthetic that would be a shame for you to miss. It's really just a very nice game to play. BDO has a wonderful and powerful, crazy fidelity-driven aesthetic that is just purely driven on Western RPGs, and I just love what it looks like. Anyway, that's all for today. See you in the next video.